What else is on your mind today, George?
I do want to cover the NASA budget one more time
Oh, let's talk
because,
about the NASA budget.
well, so I think sometimes,
Hold up.
NASA. Oh,
We should let people know that the NASA budget for 2021, oh, I just gave them the Space Force budget. It's 15.2 billion. Again, I want to say the NASA budget is either 21 or 22.2 billion, which is technically a shoestring budget. So welcome to the space economy, your destination for the business space. George and I are about to talk about NASA budget. Go, George.
so one of the things that we do with almost every other line item of spending is we put it against GDP, right? So what percentage of GDP is the budget? So think about NASA's budget as it lines up with our GDP, it's less than 0.5%.
Mhm.
The last time NASA's budget was over 1%, and again, people please fact check me, was either around the time of Bill Clinton or George Bush the senior. Okay. So that was the last time that the budget was even at one or over 1%. You have to go back even further and to think about the heyday, which is, JFK's famous speech. And of course, it was Johnson and the budget under his administration that really cheerleaded to make sure that NASA had the funding it needed. But the funding got anywhere from 3 to 4, and I think almost as close to 4.5 or 5% during that
What?
time period.
5% of GDP?
Well, almost. I think it was like 4.5. But the point
Man,
is that
that
if
makes
if you
almost the Pentagon jealous.
but right, but see if the mission here, right, if the mission here is to open up these economic frontiers, then you have to look back to say, okay, what's the last time that we engaged in a space race? The
Mhm.
last time that we, went out and planted that flag and then decided to not go back. If
The
this
moon was
time,
not made of cheese, George. There was no reason to go back. That's it. End of discussion. Stop bringing
not,
this up.
not everyone's a fat kid who loves cheese, but for everyone else, if we are serious about this, then it's going to take a a budget that is sustaining and that is more representative of the task at hand. And so you're talking about something that probably looks more like 3, 4, even 5% of the GDP into the budget of NASA. It's my thoughts. Might be alone on that, but I really think that if we're serious about developing the potential $10 trillion space economy, then you're not going to develop it unless we get there first and we get there with the ability to develop the moon, develop the resources, have the space hotels because people feel good about the way modulars can attach to the ISS, then spring off there to their own operating systems. All this comes through development, and it launches off of what NASA does, either its budget directly as it allocates it to others, or from the technology that will come out of a bigger NASA budget.
So just for cleaning, batting a little cleanup right now, NASA budget for 2021 is $23.3 billion. Fortunately, you can fact check anything on the internet nowadays. But to George's point, particularly when we talk about SB 8A, Small Business Administration, or small businesses in the space economy, NASA needs a little bit more money for funding of grants into research so that folks like Orbit's Edge can have some access to capital that helps them do their business in space, along with the plethora. Right now, I want to say there's 1,542 space businesses and entrepreneurs, courtesy of our friends over there at Space Ventures. To keep a database, we often steal facts from there. It's on the internet at spaceventures.com. So you can check out how many folks are looking, how many entrepreneurs are in the space industry. And later, perhaps George will talk about how the future of the space economy is crowdfunding and what we're planning over at bright.us/space to help space businesses access capital in what people call an alternative method, but that's sort of like calling the sun alternative energy. So we'll touch base on that in the next episode. So till then, stay awesome. See y'all in the next orbit. Peace.